today on 15 on 15.
A new project to implement solar panels on school rooftops is being executed. Plus, computers have been taught to read user emotions, find out the use for it, and more. Also, find out how the passion for glass gets developed. Thanks for joining us. I'm Yentl Lieuw. The government of Aruba is working tirelessly to transition the island into 100% sustainable by the year 2020. The newest project, taking Aruba one step closer to this goal, is implementing solar panels on school rooftops. Prime Minister Mike Amon, together with the Minister of Energy, met with stakeholders from the Carbon War Room, Rocky Mountain School, Utilities Company, TNO, and others. It has been decided that the representatives would partner up and drive the island forward with green energy.
One of the projects that we decided collectively during that meeting was to install on as many as possible school roofs in Aruba solar panels, both to utilize the roof space of our schools, but at the same time bringing solar panels to our schools creates a great connection between our next generation and also the next generation of energy supply.
A representative from Rocky Mountain School details what their role will be.
In terms of our role here at Carbon War Room and Rocky Mountain Institute, we're now a single entity working together, and we can bring the full force of our capabilities to bear. As you probably know, Carbon War Room has a very strong entrepreneurial bent, a very strong business bent, and what we bring also from the Rocky Mountain Institute is very strong technical background, working with leading utilities, energy providers, and technologists around the world.
In order to reach the various energy goals that this project is aimed to do, careful logistical planning is in order.
When we started this project, basically we set out with the objective of aiming at a solar PV system of about 100 kilowatt on average. This is simply because such a size of a system provides a bit more flexibility to actually accommodate the solar energy onto the grid. Based on that objective, we went out to first screen the size of the roof areas of the schools in order to make a first pre-selection of the available area that we could use.
Evaluation has been done on the potential schools that can handle a project of this magnitude.
So, based on that screening, we next proceeded to actually figuring out which roofs could actually handle the weight of the solar panel installation. That removed quite some candidates, not so much because of the quality of the roof, but because of the type of the roof. And thirdly, we then proceeded to actually looking at the electrical installation as it is right now in order to figure out if it can handle the power input when it is fed back into the grid.
The team has narrowed down to 21 schools from the 80 that were originally considered for the project. In other local news, it was a big weekend for runners. Rond van Aruba kept plenty of participants awake and active during the early hours of the morning. It was a major sweat session, but no doubt about it, it was a rewarding experience when the runners crossed the finish line. Minister Mike de Meza had the honor of starting off the runners on Friday at midnight. The teams all start a few minutes apart from each other in order to keep the race safe so the participants aren't toppling over each other. This is important, seeing as a record number of 102 teams total signed up. 4 members per team ran the 75-kilometer race, testing their condition and pace. Coaches and drivers go along with them to keep them motivated throughout the race. The event was hosted for the 22nd time by the Royal Dutch Marines. Runners start off at the Marine base in Savaneta. Congratulations to every single one of you who participated in the race. On that note, we'll be right back. Stay with us. Coming up, we motivate you for the rest of the week with a very short video clip. Thanks for staying tuned. You are watching 15 on 15. Computers can now read you. Well, sort of. At a startup company, they have managed to teach computers how to track facial expressions and identify how the user is feeling. Take a look. Computers are learning to track your main feature points to detect the facial expression and map them into a number of emotional states. What is being focused on are the eyebrows, smiles, any signs of frowns, etc. The startup company in Boston called Affectiva has collected 7 billion data points from 75 countries of people responding to digital content, and they've used it to train the computer to detect various emotions, such as confusion and enjoyment. You might be asking, how can the startup company make money just by teaching computers how to read people? Well, the advertising and media industry want to know how their commercials or production content is impacting viewers. Brands and advertisers want to see the emotional connection and engagement their video has on the audience. The goal of advertisers and filmmakers is to see the audience go through an emotional roller coaster whenever they watch their commercial or, let's say, movie trailer. This is where the startup technology becomes useful. Switching over to a different topic, when you have a white hair, do you pluck it, or is there a voice saying, no, don't, because another 10 will come out? Apparently, this old wives' tale has somewhat been scientifically proven. Researchers are saying plucking hairs can make more grow. Plucking hairs in a precise pattern can make even more pop up in their place. This is according to a U.S. study. Playing with the density of hair removed altered how serious an injury the body recognized, and in turn, how much hair regrew. The team managed to regenerate 1,300 hairs by plucking just 200. The study involved using mice. Experts said it is a great scientific discovery, but they are uncertain if it could lead to a cure for human baldness. Half of men have male pattern baldness by the age of 50. Currently, it is being investigated how hair follicles communicate with each other to decide on the scale of repair job needed. Sometimes it is just hard to wake up on a Monday and be motivated. In this 27-second video I'm about to show you, a moving walkway is brilliantly used as a metaphor for life to illustrate to you how to get ahead. Check out the thought-provoking black and white clip. It's hard to find cheeky and clever videos without being cheesy while carrying the message throughout nowadays. So hope this gets you going for the entire week. Let's take a very quick break. Here's what's coming up next for you. When we return, there's more to glass than meets the eye. Everyone has different passions. Some may devote a lot of time into sports, singing, or photography perhaps. There is one unique art form that is practiced worldwide but isn't as well known. More importantly speaking, Aruba has plenty of resources to develop these types of artists. Can you guess what it is? Who knew there was so much more to glass than meets the eye? At Terrafuse, artists melt, heat up, and blow glass into different shapes and sizes.
The art form is a very broad one. We work with glass, but we work with glass in many different ways. We work with glass behind a torch, we blow glass, we melt glass into forms, which is called kiln casting, and we fuse glass, which means melting in 2D in the torch. So it's a lot about glass, it's about hot glass. It's not. We do work with cold glass a little bit, but we don't do stained glass or things like that. It's mainly about hot glass.
Aruba may be a small island, but the artists who are passionate with playing with ceramics and glass dedicate a tremendous amount of innovation and time into each pieces.
Well, I think Aruba has a lot of creativity. The people here are really creative. And I think with the glass, you can work in so many different ways. So people find their way, which fits with them and which fits with the idea of what they want to do. So all the participants made their plan. They discussed with the different trainers how the plan could be realized, whether it's a fish in glass or whether it's a ball or whether it's a strange shape or whatever they want to do, and discuss the technique that belongs with that goal.
Recently at Terrafuse, a workshop took place where experienced crafters instructed a few classes to stimulate the students. The workshop even attracted students from around the world to participate. One came from Singapore, and she was one of the students. She explains how she developed the passion for glass.
I fell in love with glass when I was young through stained glass windows, and I always wanted to work with glass after graduating. I studied jewelry design, metal smithing, and but we did a technique called plique couture, which is kind of like mini stained glass in enamel form. And I've always wanted to try glass blowing, so I'm mainly here to see and experience glass blowing, learn from the masters.
Melissa describes what she sees through the glass.
I love the way glass comes alive when light passes through it. So that's the main draw of glass for me, seeing the colors just pop under sunlight.
According to the instructors and students, Aruba has all the necessary resources to fulfill the students with this type of interest and passion. So if you are looking to get into something, perhaps you should consider this. That is all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. We will be back here tomorrow night on Channel 15 ATV right here at 7:15 p.m. So we will see you then.